The first White House press conference under the new administration happened yesterday. There was one good question during the whole press conference. And it's a very good question, in fact, and I'm very happy it was asked. I'm a little surprised that, because this is a question from a reporter for EWTN, I'm a little surprised they got called on, but they made use of their time. Here it is.
Go ahead all the way in the back.
Yeah, hi, congratulations on your new position. Owen Jensen with EWTN Global Catholic Network. Two big concerns for pro-life Americans. The Hyde Amendment, which of course keeps taxpayer dollars, as you know, from paying for abortions, Medicaid abortions, and the Mexico City policy, which under the previous administration they expanded to keep tax dollars from overseas paying for abortions. So what is President Biden planning on doing on those two items right now?
Well, I think we'll have more to say on the Mexico City policy in the coming days. But I will just take the opportunity to remind all of you that he is a devout Catholic and somebody who attends church regularly. He started his day attending church with his family this morning, but I don't have anything more.
Okay. That was the strangest non sequitur. What does that have to do with anything? You were asked about what he's going to do, Mexico City policy, Hyde Amendment, very specific policy questions. That's a good question from that reporter from EWTN. And the answer is, well, he went to church. He went to church this morning. That was the answer to the question of, are you going to force federal funding of abortion? He went to church. Now, if that answer means anything, if it's indicating anything, it should be indicating that, well, of course not. Of course he's not going to force federal funding of abortion or force us to pay for abortions overseas or anything like that. That's what it should mean. And I would appreciate it if that's what it meant. You know, if the question was, is the president going to force federal funding of abortion? Well, what do you mean? He goes to church. Of course not. What do you expect? He's a Christian. He's a real Christian. But I suspect that's not the implication of that answer. The implication is, he's radically pro-abortion. We already know that. He wants federal funding. He wants to increase funding of Planned Parenthood and everything else. But you can't criticize him for that as a conservative Christian because he's a Christian too. And so because a Christian who's in a position of power supports this position, that means Christians can support it. That means it's a valid position for Christians to hold. That's the logic. And it is deranged logic. It's not logic at all because that's absolutely not true. And as a Catholic, you know, if you are a Catholic and you categorically reject and deny the moral authority of the Catholic Church, then you're not a Catholic. And so that's how I can say, that's how I can sit here and actually say, Joe Biden is not a Catholic. He says he's a Catholic. He's lying. He's not one. That is a lie. And yes, I can say that because, no, I'm not peering inside his soul. I'm not reading his mind. I don't need to. I'm listening to what he says. And I also know that being a Catholic means something. And one of the things that it means at a minimum is that you accept the moral authority of the church. If you don't, you don't have to, right? No, living in America, you don't have to accept the moral authority of the church. And if you don't, then okay, you're not a Catholic. You could be anything else. But if you are a Catholic, that's what it means. Joe Biden categorically denies the moral authority of the church. Because the church has always been very clear on this. For 2,000 years, in fact, it's been very clear about killing babies. It is gravely immoral. It is gravely immoral, mortally sinful to do, gravely immoral, mortally sinful to support, to fund, to promote. And you, as a Catholic, you cannot say, I disagree, and still remain a Catholic, right? That's a logical conclusion. In the same way that, I cannot say I'm a Mormon, but I deny that Joseph Smith was a prophet. Like, I can't say that. I can physically say it, but in saying it, I have denounced my Mormonism if I was Mormon, which I'm not. But if you claim to be part of a religion, but you reject the basic tenets of that religion, then you're not part of that religion. Same on the other end. I can't say, I'm an atheist, but I believe in God. Well, then you're not an atheist. It's not like you're being ruled out of atheism by some overarching, authority of atheism, but it's just there's a logical contradiction here, right? So there's a logical contradiction in saying that you're a Catholic who supports abortion. Listen, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.